Hello, Justin David here again. Firstly, apologies for the poor audio quality. I am recording this on my new iMac using the internal microphone because it doesn't have an external microphone input, and I haven't set my external audio interface up yet, so apologies for that. This short video is a follow-up to my recent Final Cut 10 versus Premiere CC demo, where I try to export the same piece of footage with the same colour correction, etc. to MP4, and then I timed which one was the quickest, and I found that Final Cut 10 seemed to be a lot quicker on my MacBook Pro late 2009, I think it was. It might have been a 2010. Anyway, it was quite a lot quicker on Final Cut 10. So I've recently treated myself to a late 2015 5K 27-inch Retina iMac, which is beautiful. It's the middle spec machine, so it's got the 1TB Fusion drive and the M390 graphics card, and I've also upgraded the stock RAM to 24GB, courtesy of Crucial Technology. So I thought I'd do the same thing. So I brought in a piece of video. It's progressive footage. It's in ProRes 422 LT. It's about 7.5 seconds in duration, and both in Final Cut and Premiere, I'm going to try and achieve exactly the same thing. So here we are in Premiere using the Lumetri color. I have brought down the shadows a little bit, increased the highlights, and using the motion tab I have rescaled the footage to 80% of its original size. Going into Final Cut 10, I've achieved the same thing. So I brought the footage in using a color board. I have again brought down the shadows a little bit, increased the highlights, and also, as before, rescaled it to 80% of its size. So now we're going to export the two files to H.264. Now, unfortunately, unlike Final Cut 7, without compressor, you don't get a lot of control over your export settings in Final Cut 10. So you do in Premiere, so I'm going to try and match them. It's not going to be particularly scientific, but I found that if we export using the share export file command and we choose computer H.264 faster encode, it gives us a data rate of about 20 megabits per second. Okay, so if we go into Premiere and we go to export media, try again. Try again. Come on, export media. And if we choose H.264, if I go down here, I'm going to choose constant bit rate of, again, about 20 megabits to give, hopefully, roughly the same setting. That's all you can do in Final Cut 10 without compressor, and I will get compressor one day and I'll have a look at that. Let's put them into the same folder. So we'll put them into my media drive, test render, and we'll call this ProRes. Let's call it render Premiere. Okay, and let's see how long that takes. So feel free to time this yourself if you don't trust me. But getting my stopwatch at the ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And that is taking, and stop. That was 11.3 seconds. Let's go to Final Cut Pro and do the same thing. So faster encode, that's the only control I get. Put it into the same folder. Let's call this render FCP X and get ready on my stopwatch. So 11.3 seconds for Premiere. 3, oh hang on a minute, what I do want to do, I don't want to open with anything because that slows it down. So let's just get that ready again. So render FCP X and 3, 2, 1, go. So remember, we're trying to beat 11.33 seconds. And 74, 82, and stop. 11.56. Now, if it was a more scientific test, I'd do 3 or 4 and take the average. But that's interesting. That's actually about the same on this iMac. Now let's just have a look at the two files. So we go into that folder. Reasonably the same size, as you can see. FCP X of 20.1 meg, Render Premiere 21. So the data rate is about the same. I'm not going to judge which is the best quality, but I thought that was useful. So interestingly, maybe the iMac is giving much better performance to Premiere. Now it's got the accelerated graphics, etc., compared to